In this video, I want to give you a step-by-step process of how you can easily and quickly take your Pilates equipment classes that you were teaching in your studio and convert them to virtual classes that are bringing you profit that clients are easily paying for. This is a process that I used pretty quickly when we switched over to virtual to create my classes, let my clients know about it, and I have to tell you, it worked like magic. Clients are happily paying for these classes and continually sending me notes of thanks about it. So I just wanted to share, if you're in this place, if you're trying to figure out how can I serve those clients that were coming in for Pilates equipment classes? This is what I did, and I hope it helps you. All right, let's get started. Do know that I'm going to send this out in a little guide PDF as well, so you'll get some notes on it, but I just wanted to go over it in person. All right, number one, you are going to pick a Pilates equipment class that was one of your regular classes. I would go with, what class were you teaching at the studio that was always full? What class had you been teaching for a while? Did your clients love? Right? And when you're thinking about that class, think about the clients who took the class on a regular basis, because you're going to design this virtual class for them. So it's super important that you're picking a class that you already were teaching for a couple of reasons. One is kind of for your own sanity. I don't know about you, but I'm going to use my tower classes that I teach. I could teach them in my sleep, right? I've been teaching them for so long, and even though each class is different, I have different themes, and we do different things, in general, my class is pretty much the same, like order, the choreography, the basics of the class are the same. And for me as a teacher, that means at like a 2-second notice, I could jump in and I could teach a class and it would be good, all right? And I would not have to like think about so much what I'm teaching. So it's important for you that the class that you're gonna teach is one of those classes for you. It's also really important for your clients. So you want to teach a class where your clients already know the exercises. They already know the how-to. They know that when you're doing feet and straps, leg circles and frog, or whatever you're doing, that the goal is to stabilize their back, that they're keeping their stomach engaged. Like they know the details of the exercise. You don't want to try to teach them something brand new virtually. You want to teach something that they already know how to do. The key on this is that you're going to take something they already know how to do, and you're going to figure out how to recreate it using props, and then when you're teaching, you can cue them in ways that reminds them of what they already know. And that's just going to make it easier. It's actually going to make the experience better for them. They're going to take your class and they're going to be like, wow, that was so good. That was, just like I was in the studio. All right, so that's your number one. Pick a class that you've been teaching that had regular attendance. Get those ideal clients. Get those clients that come on a regular basis in your head. All right, number two. You're going to go through that class with some props, and you're going to figure out how to kind of convert each exercise into a version that somebody could do at home. I suggest keeping your props super simple. What I have with me today is a TheraBand. It is an easy prop that a lot of people have at home. I suggest some small weights. Weights are great because if people don't have weights, you can give them an alternative, like grab a couple bottles of water or grab some soup cans. And then I have with me a yoga block, and for the most part, I use that to support somebody's hips to lift them up. So a yoga block works. You could also use a foam roller. You could use a small ball. Somebody could stack blankets under their hips. There's lots of like alternatives for it that most people have at home. Another great thing that I didn't get out today would be something like paper plates or a piece of cardboard. If you're going to do some sliding, standing work kind of thing, that's something easy that people have at home. That's what you want to make sure you have. So you're going to go through exercise by exercise and figure out how to recreate each exercise. I'm going to use the example today, because I'm here on my tower, of chest expansion on the tower. I'm going to flip around. You guys are probably going to get to see my butt. I got all my props in the way here. So if I was doing chest expansion on the tower, I would get somebody set up. They would find their best position. They would grab the bar. I would give them cues to kind of feel the springs, connect your shoulders, get tall through your spine. And then I would teach the exercise, right? Inhaling as we press the bar down, holding it there, growing taller, looking over one shoulder, looking over the other shoulder, and then exhale, kind of resisting that spring as you gradually bring it back up. Right, this is an exercise that people who take my tower class know. Right? So if I wanted to recreate that exercise with a prop, here's what I would do. I've actually done this a couple different ways with weights, and I've done it with the TheraBand. They both work, but I'll show you my example. So let's get ourselves set up to do our chest expansion. You're gonna find your kneeling position with your best posture. Hips are pressed forward, arms are out in front of you, and I know those weights feel a little different than your spring on the tower, but find your spring. Could you pull your shoulder blades down, reach into the weights a little bit as if they were that bar with that spring. And then as you inhale, pretend you're pressing into that spring as you bring those weights down, lifting your spine tall. Look over one shoulder, look over the other shoulder, come back to center, and then resist the spring. Feel that spring as you bring the arms back up. So same exercise, I just used a weights. You could also do that with a TheraBand, right? Hold the TheraBand out, pull the band apart a little bit, connect your shoulders, and then find the spring. Imagine how it feels to press into that spring and find that engagement, and then do the exercise. All right, so for every exercise, you're gonna go through and you're gonna figure out how you can use a prop to recreate the exercise. Now, it's super important that you keep reminding people while you're teaching of what it felt like on the equipment, because that's part of the experience for them, right? They have this knowledge bank. They've been taking classes with you for a while. They know how to do things on the equipment. They know what it feels like. So when you give that cue, automatically, oh, it feels different, right? Holding weights out in space is one thing. Holding weights and pretending they're like a spring and pressing in to lift your spine, that's a whole nother thing. So it's all about kind of how you teach it and how you cue it. So you're gonna go through and you're gonna do every exercise, and you're going to try to keep the choreography as close to what you normally do, right? Because you don't wanna add new things into the mix too much, right? You wanna go with the familiar. You wanna do something that they're used to doing and kind of recreate it. So that's your goal. You're gonna go through all the exercises that you normally do. Now, quick things. Sometimes you're gonna get to something and you're like, I cannot find an alternative for that. Well, here's my best advice. If you need to throw it out, throw it out. If you need some ideas, send me a note. I love to come up with creative solutions for how people can kind of recreate things at home, so I'd love to give you some ideas. All right, there's my tips on that. You're gonna go through and you're gonna create your whole class using some simple props. Then, what I want you to do next, and this is an important step, is I want you to practice teach your class to the camera. I want you to set up your camera just like you were gonna teach your class on Zoom or wherever you're using to teach it. I want you to push record, and I want you to teach the class. This is important for so many reasons. One, it's just practice teaching, right? The camera makes it real and will keep you kind of on pace, and it'll just help you practice. Two, when you get done, you have something that you can use for some marketing. Some ways that I've used my video practice are, one, I've just taken some clips out of it and used it for social media. And then two, the other thing I've done is I've actually sent out the entire video for a couple of my classes to my clients. And that's kind of what's coming up next in the process. But after you've done the video, you've practiced it, you're kind of ready to go, you need to reach out to your clients. So you need to go back. What I did, I went back and I took my regulars in my class. I'm gonna just use my tower class because it was the first one that I did this with. I have a tower class, it's a very regular class. I went back, it usually has a waiting list, it's fabulous, right? So I went back and all my regulars in that class, I'm gonna send them a note. Not just my regulars though, anybody that had taken that class, I ran a little report in MindBody, anybody that had taken the class in the last like 6 months, I put them on my little email list. And I sent them a nice little note, and I gave you a little copy of something similar that I did. It went like this. Hey Jane, I hope you're doing well. I so miss seeing you in the studio. I have been working on creating a tower class that we can do at home because I really want to make sure everybody is continuing to move their bodies at home. I was wondering if you would be willing to try a free class for me and just give me some feedback on the class. If you would, could you just send me a note back and I'll send you email directions, or I'll even jump on the phone with you and tell you how to get on virtually and take class if you'd be willing to do this for me. Hope you're doing well, Carrie. All right, so you have this little email you're gonna send out. Here's what's gonna happen. Most people are gonna send you a note back and be like, yeah, of course I'll try this out for you, right? There's no risk for them. You're gonna walk them through getting on virtual. They've seen it, they're a little scared to get on. Of course, you know, they have that connection with you, they're missing you. Wow, this is really great. Yeah, of course I will, right? Then, again, super important, you are going to do whatever you need to do to help them get set up to take this class. So it might be as easy as sending them a link and some instructions, but you also might need to check in with these people and be like, hey, are you comfortable getting on Zoom? Do you want to do a test class ahead of time before my practice class? I'll gladly do that with you. Take a little time to make sure people are comfortable getting on Zoom. It's going to pay off for you in the long run. Right? Once they get on and try it, they're gonna go, oh, this is pretty easy, I can do it, right? So you're gonna do that. You're gonna send your note out, you're gonna see who's gonna come to your class, and then you'll get your class set up. So whatever virtual, if you're using Zoom, you'll set up your class, you'll send the meeting out, you'll make sure all of those clients are comfortable taking class. Here's another tip I would suggest. If you don't hear back from somebody by email, I would call them. A lot of people, at least my clients, are not always checking their email. And what I've found during this time is when I take the time to personally call, check in, and talk to somebody, they are, one, so appreciative. Two, they are more willing to try a virtual class, right? What usually the conversation is like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do that, but you think I could do it? And I'm like, yeah, of course you could do it. And I can walk you through it on the phone and you can try it. There's no, you know, if you don't want to do it, you just watch the video at home. There's no risk involved. Maybe just pop it on and see what it's all about kind of thing. I don't know if you're doing class or not. You can keep your video off. And they're like, okay. So I've had a lot of clients, and then once they do it, they're like, I kind of like that. And then they keep coming back. All right, so super important step along the way. And then you're gonna teach class, right? You're gonna show up for class. You're gonna thank people for coming. Thank you so much for trying out this class for me. This is new for me, and I just want something that, gives you guys that great studio experience. I would really appreciate it if after class you would give me some feedback. Please feel free to email me if you want to call me and check in. Just let me know what you think. And then you're going to teach class, right? You're going to tell them about the props. You're going to get them set up. You're going to teach your class. You're going to do your thing. Usually that's the easy part for us Pilates teachers, right? You're going to teach class. Again, after class, remind them that you would love some feedback. Hey guys, oh my gosh, I had so much fun. I hope you enjoyed this. Like, could you give me some feedback? That would be amazing. All right, and here's why that's important for your next step. I guarantee that the majority of the people will give you feedback. And some of it may be some technical stuff. Some of it may be like, this could be better or whatever. Probably 90% of what you get back is gonna be like, wow, that was really good. I didn't know I could get that same workout at home, or wow, I really feel better after that. Thanks for doing that. You're probably gonna get some emails back that are like, when can I sign up for class? kind of thing. So keep the feedback. You want to use that feedback for some of your marketing, right? Another important thing is when you schedule the class, and you should tell your clients, you're gonna teach the practice class, you should tell these clients, hey, I am going to be offering this as a class. It's going to be at the same time as our normal tower class, Mondays at 10 a.m. I hope you'll be able to join us. If it's possible for you, I would try to put your replacement classes in the same time spot that you had them on your regular schedule. And the reason is this. Clients' worlds have just gotten turned upside down. Right? You know it, your world's got turned upside down. And any little bit of normalcy that they can maintain is gonna just help them feel better. It's gonna, they don't have to think, like that's their normal Pilates time. They don't have to rearrange their schedule. Hopefully they can still fit it in. You're more likely to get them in class. And as a bonus, like if you keep these people consistent, as soon as the studio opens back up, they just come right back into their regular class. So see if you can keep it on the schedule at the same time. All right, and then kind of your last step is to market the class to everybody, right? Like clearly this whole process, hopefully you have clients wanting to sign up because you went to your regulars, you went to the people that are normally in that class. But what's probably gonna happen, what happened for us is we had new people wanting to join the class. We have a lot of people now that they're like working at home, they get a little more flexibility. They want to try these classes. So you're going to get other people wanting to try the classes too, which is amazing. So you're going to use the feedback you're getting. So if people are sending you back little quotes like, wow, that class was great. I didn't know I could get the equipment work without the equipment. Save that little quote and throw it into a graphic on Canva and put it on your Instagram, put it on your Facebook page. You're going to, if you did your video, right? You recorded it. You have some options with that video. So you could take some clips out of it and put it on social media and be like, here's a little version we did of chest expansion with our weights. If you want to try that at home, if you want to try the full class, here's the link, that kind of stuff. One of the things I did with one of my classes that worked really well was with that video recording with my practice teaching. I sent a little note out to my clients and I said, hey, I was practicing this class, and actually, I'll tell you about it. It was actually a mat class. It wasn't an equipment class, but it was my advanced mat class. And I honestly was not sure if I could physically do advanced mat and teach it and create something that was good for my clients at home. So I wanted to try it out. So I did it. I taught my full advanced mat class while I was doing it. I turned my camera on. I pretended like I was live and I recorded it. And then I was like, well, I got done and I was like, I was tired. I'm gonna tell you, like it's like extra work to do the work and talk through it all at the same time, something I normally don't do. But I was like, wow, I did it. So I shot an email out to my clients and I said, hey, I told them what I just told you. I wasn't sure if I could do this or not. I decided to test it out. I videoed it. it seemed to go good. So I'm going to be offering my Return to Life Advanced Mat class every Saturday at this time. I'd love to see you there. I included in this email just a link to the video that I recorded so that even if you can't make class, you can come any time of day, or you can take class any time of day. What happened? Well, I got emails back. I sent this email. I went back. All my regulars I sent it to, but I looked like 6 months back. Who's been to my advanced mat class? I sent it out to all of them. I got so many emails back that said, wow, thank you, and this is great. I'm going to try this class at home. I'm going to see you next week in class. I'm so excited that we can do this virtually. Right? It was an easy way to let people know I had my class going on. They felt like they got a ton of value because not only am I offering this class that they can take, but I gave them a free class. So that's your last step, is marketing, right? Use what you've gotten back for feedback and get it out there in the world. All right, so that's my process. I hope this is helpful for you if you're creating classes at home. Let me know. If you have questions, if you're kind of struggling with how to recreate some exercises, let me know that as well. One of my, I'm gonna call it one of my superpowers, is I love to kind of get creative and figure out how to recreate an exercise when maybe you don't have access to the equipment. So if you need help with that, I would love to help you with that. Just a reminder, we will be sending a PDF file with the notes from this, so you have it step by step and you can go through it. Let me know how it goes. Thanks for joining me today.